I thank you for this product. I mean, this is probably more from, you know.
I thank me for this product.
Do you really? Well, we call you a camel, but you know, that's a whole nother story.
No, well, when I used to do 4-hour shows here, they'd have to have like revolving hosts, and I would just be standing out here for 4 hours.
No.
But that's because I I talk, as my goddaughter says. There's nothing oftentimes when people stop me, to talk about vitamins and things, they think they're bothering me, and I don't want to talk about vitamins because it's my work. They're usually the ones that eventually have to try to get away from me because, no, I just, this is what I love to talk about.
It's true. It's your love and passion.
And this is what, in my spare time, this is what I read about. So every week, I'm just going over more and more research. So this comes easily to me and naturally to me because this is my hobby. This is what I've always loved. And fortunately, my education led me directly to doing this.
Absolutely. But speaking of things people love, right?
Yep. And we're talking about cranberry.
Yes.
Cranberry is, as I say often, cranberry is the poster child for an ingredient that had centuries of traditional support, traditional respect, traditional utilization that ultimately ended up getting scientific validation. So we see that with a lot of ingredients nowadays. We see it with turmeric, which we'll be talking about later. But we see a lot of ingredients where eventually science has caught up and said, wow, there was some wisdom going back the ages. So, and cranberry certainly is one of those ingredients. And it's something that in my family, we know it's important that we make sure that we support our urinary tract. And so it's something that I've always done, and it's something that, for me, and it's good to talk about in the evening, I typically take 1 capsule per day.
Right.
Unless I feel or think something might be going on, but 1 capsule a day, and I take it in the evening. Because in the evening, it's sort of interesting. In the evening, actually, and it's been a while since I've read the articles and texts on this, but I believe in the evening, when we lay down to go to sleep, our kidneys, their output of urine is reduced a bit. And I think part of that was developed because and of course this changes as we get older, but part of that's developed so we could sleep through the night without having to go relieve ourselves. As we get older, men, prostate issues, women, certain issues, we might have issues in having to wake up to empty our bladder during the evening. But during the evening, because of that opportunity where we're going to be able to hold that urine in our bladder for a longer period of time, it's kind of a nice opportunity to bathe our bladder in the protective compounds that are present in cranberry. So I've always found that the best time to take it, if you're only taking 1 capsule per day, is in the evening, because that way it gives it a better and longer opportunity to do its job. If you're taking 2 capsules daily, I'd say 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening.
Absolutely. But when I said, speaking of things we love, it's a 4.7 star customer pick rating. And anyone who struggles with UTI or urinary tract infections, certainly women, we're more aware, but like Andrew said, men, you're not exempt. You know that's not a good day. It's just not. So if there's a natural, you know, no sugar, no calorie way to support that at a price that he's really only doing as long as supplies last is this weekend special, then I say why not? 30, 60, 120, and 240. Big savings here. I actually take this twice a day, and from a quality of life standpoint, I can tell you what a major improvement it's made, not just with sleep disruptions, you know, but getting through long, you know, it's improved my daily life, and I'll leave it at that. I mean,
and that's often what you read in the reviews.
Yes.
And certainly, as much as you've seen the reviews talk about UTIs, and it's almost mentioned in every review, this is not a drug. It's not a treatment. The way this simply works is it's sort of environmentally. We talk about friendly flora, we talk about probiotics. Cranberry creates an environment that just isn't as hospitable, just isn't as friendly to the opportunistic issues that could present in our bladder. And again, for all of us, we're all aging. It's inescapable, and unfortunately, aging is not a kind process. I mean, I do my very best to live well, eat well, but unfortunately, I'm not the same person I was 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, or longer. So it's something that we have to accept that as reality, or we could just throw our hands up and go, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. But what is that saying that my dad, who just turned 89, and my dad said the other day, joking around with me, he said, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. And we don't want to be caught saying that. But it's never too late to make a difference. And something like cranberry is an ingredient that really makes a difference in the near term.
Absolutely.
And it's a very simple product, very straightforward product, and the reviews speak for themselves.
They do indeed. Special pricing, of course, no calories, no sugar. I mean,
it eliminates all the, if you love cranberry juice, that's fine, but unfortunately, the last thing, as I said before, probably the hallmark of my diet is how carefully I avoid putting sugar in my diet, and all cranberry juice is a sugar fest.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's a lot of calories, a lot of sugar. It's not what we want to be doing metabolically or health-wise, notwithstanding the presence of all those cranberry protective compounds. But here you get the protective compounds without the things you don't want.
Absolutely, at a great price, of course. Hey, by the way, 12 midnight is just a few minutes away, and our first, well, official look